cities, skylines, stories, and surviving Mars. Developer Paradox Interactive has purchased Prison Architect from Introversio Software for an undisclosed fee. Paradox will specifically acquire all the rights and assets to the prison building and management sim, which has sold over 2 million copies across PC and consoles, and will take ownership of the franchise on all current and future platforms. In short, that means Paradox will be able to steer the direction and development of the series moving forward, and the company is keen to explore opportunities with the wider Architect property in the future. Introversio co-founder Mark Morris said the team ultimately chose to let another studio have a crack at the franchise, after taking it as far as it could over the past decade. Prison Architect thus been an intensely rewarding project for us, commented Morris. Every developer loves seeing their creations come to life. But through early access, launch on multiple platforms, and over a dozen post-launch content updates, we have been building and managing this building and management game for nearly a decade. I think we have taken Prison Architect just about as far as we can, and we are all eager to see where a team like Paradox can take it next. This also gives Introversio the chance to work on what we have got coming up next. In the 2011 session, Ubisoft told Patrick Redding explores game mechanics that help encourage cooperative play for the benefit of other game developers, raising the case of distinction between player cooperation as opposed to systemic cooperation before going on to discuss the lessons he learned during development for the co-op component of Splinter Cell: Conviction. It was an insightful talk that's definitely still worth watching, so developers should not miss the opportunity to do so now that it's freely available on the official GD YouTube channel. In addition to this presentation, THEGDC Vault and its accompanying YouTube channel offers numerous other free videos, audio recordings, and slides from many of the recent game developers conference events, and the service offers even more members-only content for DD Vault subscribers. Those who purchased all access passes to recent events, like DD Vault, already have full access to DD Vault, and interested parties can apply for the individual subscription via the Vault subscription page. Group subscriptions are also available. Game-related schools and development studios who sign up for the Vault Studio subscriptions can receive access for their entire office or company by contacting staff via the HGDC Vault Group subscription page. Finally, current subscribers with access issues can contact the Vault technical support. Gamasutra and DD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. Video Game Deep KC's weekly newsletter from video game industry watcher Simon Carlos, DD, Gamasutra co-runner, rounding up the best long-read standout articles videos about games every weekend. This week's highlights include a detailed look at what 2019 may bring in terms of business trends games, as well as a whole host of other leftover 2018 highlights, daily meditations on games, a Chinese indie market, and lots more. Few. So we are in that just before it all kicks off, New Year period, and I hope you are returning to work with a happy attitude and a relaxed demeanor. Actually, we are just getting really amped up for Game Developers Conference 2019. As all the latest news shows, hope a bunch of you can make it. Until next time, Simon, Curator. Opinion. Here's what 2019 will be like for the game biz. Just Van Jonen Gamasutra article. 2019 promises to be a great year in games. Innovation and competition will elevate the industry's offerings and drive more inclusivity among a broader range of audiences. Simon, as note, will link this onto Gamasutra from Juice's excellent newsletter, which I would recommend subscribing to. The history of dance emotes in 15 GIFs. Lookinky PC Gamer article. It's a little funny how much we have come to expect dance emotes in modern games. Obviously dance does not top our list of demands like 5K support or unlocked frame rates. But it's honestly hard to imagine a mode without a diligently programmed it. My favorite game animation of 2018. And Floyd No Frame Plus YouTube video. Here's a list of 2018 games with amazing animation. Simon, just note, Floyd, X extra credits. It's a really smart video game X animation type. So this is a nice roundup. The 40 games we cannot wait to play in 2019. And reversed the Verge article. The year is almost over. Which means it's time to start dreaming about all of the great games you will be playing in 2019, and it sure looks like there will be a lot. Next year is shaping up to be packed with notable releases. From the charming world of Animal Crossing to the violent action of Gears of War, the United States, and the design of 90 FPS games. Chris Franklin Aaron Signal YouTube video. The United States is a game that harkens back to FPS games from 20 years ago. Is it just a world-over collection of old head tropes? Or does the game make a case for something like this being made today? Press a 2018 the year's best video game soundtracks. Chris, read for me a closer listen article. This year, the proliferation of unique styles and new approaches to old genres brought video game soundtracks to what is perhaps a mood, high in quality and thought. From niche to popular composers, classical traditions to synthwave, everything we celebrate from 2018 bears the mark of being distinct, whether a modern spin-on mode or just a modern, ducking up the game design mutant. Year Zero. Bryant, Francis Gamasutra article video. Thanks in no part to a foul-mouthed talking duck. Mutant. Year Zero has managed to find an audience and a strong niche in the strategy game space, showing how even a stripped-back version of can deal with the right tone and sense of polished. The Bandersnatch episode of Black Mirror and the pitfalls of interactive fiction. Simon Park in New Yorker article. Interactive fiction, RIF, is an old and treasured mode of video game design. Per the veteran designers admire, a video game is a series of interesting choices. In many ways, the multi-branched story is the purest expression of that idea. Bandersnatch is a Netflix episode, so it's by necessity simpler than many IF games. But it also demonstrates both the enduring allure of the format and its exasperating limitations. A breakout story, Ethan Johnson The History of How We Play article. The early years of Silicon Valley are jam-packed with legends and so many crossing events happening simultaneously. Jobs' intersection with the story is very much conjecture with a backdrop of absence that very much complicates the story. Sussing out the factors of the creation of this breakout prototype is difficult, so let's go through the process which led to the current conclusion. Burden like is 1899, inside blockbuster American West video game, Nicholas Long Audubon article. The first time I see a ravens, I flush them out of an alpine meadow carpeted with wildflowers. I pause to watch the flock fly off towards the distant, snow-capped peaks, trailed by their echoing croaks. When a man riding by on horseback bumps into me, irritated, I shoot the man dead, and take his head. So it goes in. Red Dead Redemption 2. Dual Battle Presents. Hammerhead Losses 2000. Undated Games of THEYA. Hammerhead Losses Dual Battle article. I constantly struggled to both get my hands on everything I wanted to check out. At one point, I had over 60 tags on my phone full of promising titles that I have still not gotten onto. Even as I write this, I am covering the games that threaten to shuffle this list out. Simon, just note, I know enough best games already. This one's fun because it's distinctly alternative. The best writing in games in 2018 was Finland PC Gamer article to celebrate the best words in video games this year.